I hope everybody can hear my voice clearly. I know, what's his name? Yash has said that a few people should keep their videos off. Can I ask a few people to turn it on? Then I can see them on there, makes me more comfortable. Yash, yeah, Aditi, and Kripa Patel. You guys are there on my page. So Kripa Patel, Mukunda Galmakar, Abhay Solanki, uh, yeah, Govinda, yeah. So that I'm talking to people, I just, yeah. And Mukunda, yeah. And Avig, yes, thanks. So, Hare Krishna, everybody. So it's so nice to see everybody. Very familiar faces. Many I have met before, many I have not. So thank you very much for TSI. I believe everybody is part of the TSI group, and this is such a beautiful initiative and such a like amazing time right now. Like, everybody's doing like Instagram lives and all these kind of things, and I like that that we are able to talk to each other. I think before it was just a few chats and emojis right here and there, and and there's some like people talking, like having deeper talks, and then I know a couple of people who are like doing more bhajan, chanting more rounds or reading more books, and it's sad how it feels like we cannot meet each other. And we just did kirtan today, and like I couldn't even hug my friends, so it was a bit weird, but it's an experience that we all are going through. So I'm very, very thankful for you all to give me this opportunity to like speak something. I just wanted to, before I start my conversation, I just wanted to give a disclaimer. What I'm going to speak, it has scriptural based, but it is not. It's more like it has more of a learning based. I don't know if you ever heard about people like Sutapa Prabhu or Yashwamati Mataji or Narayani Mataji, and when they teach Bhagavatam, they present it in such easy way that you can remember things, and it doesn't have like a scriptural base. So yeah, so in that way, but the philosophy is there. It's my when Yash communicated with me and asked me if I would like to be part of this, then I was it came to my mind really quick, because I've been talking about this for a long time with a lot of youth around, and as I travel, because I've been seeing the culture of kirtan, and I'm coming from Vrindavan. Our culture of kirtan is sitting for 3-4 hours, and it is just kirtan. It's simple kirtan. There is no like monitors and crowd and these many people came and your slot, and it's a and it's so it gives it gives me a lot of like understanding and seeing different aspects of kirtan. So this is something I've been talking about in regards to kirtan. And I've been seeing that it's like many people have commented about it, and they might not say it on our face, but they speak behind. It's not, it connects mainly to the youth, and mainly to the youth who do kirtan. And where I'm sure many of you have heard where people, they generalize and say that kirtaniyas usually just like to do kirtan, but when it comes to chanting the holy name or reading Bhagavatam, they don't really have the attachment. I'm sure everybody does some reading here and there, but or chanting, but they don't have the attachment. I hear this from people, and so I feel like, in a way, it's an introspection. Is it really what we are doing, or so I just really wanted to talk, because I've seen many of them. They are not much into japa, um, and they're not much into reading books also. So also I wanted to say this before I have these points written over here. I've been like, I'm not a public speaker. I speak to a few people, so it's, but so I wanted to say that this whole thing is just going to be a very simple thing. It's like like how Vaisheshika Prabhu or Srila Prabhupada used to do it. Simple, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes of talking, and then rest is going to be question and discussion. And we have a lot of youth over here who are older and understanding, and they have experience, so they can say also a few things. Not only a question to me, but so um, so this everything connects to the life of Ayendra Prabhu. Everything connects to him. I uh, remember when he passed away, and then we had organized the memorial where all his friends had come and spoken a few words, and at that time Mahanidhi Swami, he spoke regarding Ayendra Prabhu, and that left a really profound impression on my mind. He spoke about Ayendra Prabhu's dynamism. We have devotional service. They have 64 limbs of devotional service. We have 9 limbs of devotional service. In Ayendra Prabhu's book, he also mentions about the 5 limbs of devotional service. It's called Panchanga Bhakti. We have Navda Bhakti, which is 9 limbs, and we have Chausat Bhakti. So this is Panchanga Bhakti, which is Dhamvas, Sadhu Seva, Srimurti Seva, Bhagavad Shravan, and Harinam Sankirtan. So Mahanidhi Maharaj, he said that Ayendra Prabhu, when he was present, he was an embodiment of 5 limbs of bhakti. And I don't know, many of you have, not seen him personally, been with him, but heard so many stories and, from people. So he spoke about all the points that are there in the Panchanga Bhakti, which is Dhamvas. And I'll take one by one and tell you, like Dhamvas, how Maharaj said that Ayendra Prabhu, once he came to Vrindavan, he never wanted to leave Vrindavan. He didn't like going to Nepal. He didn't like going to Delhi. He used to call it Smelly Delhi or Heli Delhi. So he did not like that, and but he loved Dhamvas, and he stayed for 24 years since he arrived into Vrindavan. And second thing was Dhamvas, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Seva. And this is many devotees have experienced when Ayendra Prabhu, he was a reserved person, but many times people would come and talk to him, and he would talk to them for like hours. I personally sat with him, and he spoke to me like for 3-4 hours. And many devotees had this experience where he would just talk to them about Dham, about chanting. He would always had a lot to give. And then there is the Murti Seva or Shri Vigraha Seva, which is, if you actually see in Vrindavan, the decoration, altar decoration of Radha Shyam Sundar by Ainul Prabhu is very prominent. He's given a seminar on DD worship in Mayapur, and he is like, he's accepted as one of the best dressers in a movement, and he came up with like really artistic style of dressing. There's a story of him, like one time when they opened the altar and Shyam didn't have his flute, and everybody is like, where is Shyam's flute? Which is not common. Shyam, is it Mukundatta Prabhu, who is our head pujari, he always tells this story, like the peacock feather and the flute. These are the two things. In the end, everybody checks it. You can't miss that. And that the flute was not there, and so everybody's looking, and then the flute was actually in Radharani's hand. So so Ainul Prabhu would do all these kind of like really, really beautiful portrayal of the deity worship. And then Bhagavad Shravan. So I don't know how many of you have listened to Ainul Prabhu's lectures. Ainul Prabhu would give lectures for like, he would start lecture by 9 o'clock and he would go all the way to 12 o'clock. Sorry, my bad. Start at 8 o'clock. Yeah, 8 o'clock till 12 o'clock. So he would go for 3-4 hours on Bhagavatam. Also Maharaj expressed that when they would sit and speak, when Manidi Maharaj would study also Bhagavatam, a lot of his friends would study, and then Ainul Prabhu had such deeper understanding of Bhagavatam. And then is Harinam Sankirtan. I mean, I am here because of Harinam Sankirtan. I am here because he chanted, and that's your connection to me is to him, it's like that. So holy name, he is the like, I would say like the king of Kirtan, like how everybody puts it, So yeah, so these are the Panchanga Bhakti. So I usually when I go around and I talk about it, so I talk about the holy trinity of Kirtan. The holy trinity of Kirtan, which is chanting the holy name, which is Japa, Harinam Sankirtan, and Bhagavad Shravan. Now, Harinam Sankirtan, we all know Mahaprabhu established Harinam Sankirtan, and we all do chanting with instruments in Sangha, with everybody, and that we are already doing. Japa Kirtan. Japa Kirtan is a personal, we all know that also. It's a personal relationship. It's like there's Facebook wall post and DMs, So the Facebook wall post is Kirtan, Sankirtan. Many people can comment and be part of it. But I personally, so that is Japa. And I will speak about Japa later, but I'll start with Bhagavad Shravan, which is, now how is Bhagavad Shravan Kirtan? So if you actually see in Navada Bhakti, or 9 limbs of Bhakti, the first limb of Bhakti is Shravanam. And the Shravanam Acharya is Parikshit Maharaj. And the second limb of Bhakti is Kirtanam. And who is the Acharya, the Kirtan Acharya is Sukadev Goswami. So Bhagavad Shravan is also part of Kirtan. Now, people usually also ask me, like, Prabhu, what do you think when you do Kirtan? What is your mood? Because what is your mood? You express, how do you, Now, when I think about that, I think about Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj is a very good example that he did such hard tapasya. to get Vishnu or Krishna. And when God actually appeared in front of him, and Krishna actually came in front of him, his mouth just couldn't even express. He couldn't even say a single word, because that's how Krishna is. We can't really express by words how he is. When Krishna touched his head with a conch shell, that's when Dhruva Maharaj said his prayers. So Krishna gives us the energy to say, to think, to be. Now that you get all this from where? You get to know all this from Bhagavatam. You get to know about Kunti Maharani's prayers. So these are different mood of how to express, and people connect with different ways of different sadhus, different Vaishnavas mentioned in the Bhagavatam. I personally connect very much to Bhishma Dev, and this is a very beautiful. In the end, when Bhishma Dev is on the bed of arrows, and Krishna is there, and Bhishma Dev says that boy, he's smiling. Bhishma Dev is smiling at Krishna, and he's saying, that boy whose head used to be covered with godhuli, which is the dust of cows, has now horse dust on his head because he's driving a chariot. And that who used to take a whip, and that used to take his cows to for grazing, is now has a whip in his hand for the horses. So it's a beautiful bhav, that because I connect with cows, so that's why it's a beautiful bhav for me. So every time when I personally do kirtan, I think about that. Now, in the Padma Puran, it is mentioned in Bhagavad Mahatmya. There is this story of Narad Muni, when he comes down to earth, when Kali Yuga has begun, and he comes down to earth and he's doing Brahmar traveling, and he sees this astonishing image in Vrindavan when he reaches Vrindavan, and he sees this beautiful queen. She's sitting on a throne, and she is like sad, and she has got hundreds of dasis, servants who are serving her, and the service is not making her happy. She's sad, and at her feet there are these two really old, almost dying people, two of them. And when Narad Muni sees that, he asks her, what is your dilemma? What is your pain? Like, why are you so sad? What is this? So she says that I am Bhakti Devi, and this is my two sons, Gyan and Vairagya. So one is knowledge and one is renunciation. So, and I was traveling. I was born in South India, and I slowly moved up towards Vrindavan, towards Gujarat, and we all became like old. But when I came to Vrindavan, I became young again. The Bhakti, she becomes young back again in Vrindavan. But her kids, Gyan and Vairagya, are still very old. It's because she says that because people are not they are not studying enough Shastra, or they are not following enough renunciation. So this is why that's what's happening. That's when Narada Muni, he tells Bhakti Devi that I am going to go around the globe, and I'm gonna preach your glories. So that's the first proclamation before Mahaprabhu says, Prithvi te ache jatu nagaradigram sarvatra pracharo hobe mora naam, that everywhere my name will spread. Narad Muni said that I will go and spread your name. So my connection to the Holy Trinity of Kirtan was this: Bhakti, who is, or the Bhakti is or Kirtan is a form of devotional service. It is the form of devotional service, and it's the goal. So it's like, it is Krishna. Nam Prabhu is Krishna, and from Nam Prabhu you get Krishna. So it is, and we have Jnana Swarup, or a form of knowledge, is I say Brahma, which is also a form of knowledge, and Lord Shiva, who is form of Vairagya, renunciation. So these are my, the way I remember that bhakti needs to be done, to be done with knowledge as well as Vairagya. So these are the Holy Trinity of Kirtan. I hope everybody is following. So this was one of the first points that I wanted to talk about, and the second point I really wanted to speak about was conscious over conscience, or Krishna conscious over guilty conscience. So in this aspect, I wanted to talk about Nam Jap. Before I was talking about Bhagavad Shravan. Now I want to talk about Nam Jap. And in the chanting of the holy name, to chant holy name, we know the fifth, the last offense is to chant inattentively, to be inattentively, to be inattentive while chanting the holy name. So that was in so we sometimes we all get to experience. I mean, I have experiences where it's my guilty conscience that tells me that, oh, I have to do my rounds, or I have to, I have to finish, like, or I will make offense to my guru, or I'll make offense to the Vaishnavas, or my family members who who have been encouraging me to do, but I'm not, But being conscious is actually a very very important aspect. Like I experienced this when, I know many of you have sat for Madhava Prabhu's Kirtan, and I've experienced that with Madhava Prabhu's Kirtan. I never connected with Madhava Prabhu's Kirtan, and he sings really good Kirtan, but I used to get bored and, feel sleepy, and, and it's also like, because I was focusing more on all the aspects of Kirtan rather than the holy name itself. I was focusing on the mridanga playing, or the kartal playing, or, how people are reacting. So, but then one time I sat and I was like, I'm going to chant every single mantra with him. And when I thought about that, and I focused on every single mantra, I sat for a whole 2 hours. I didn't even realize I was so like, I felt really like I went on a next level. I felt better and better, and I felt like any other kirtan, which I would enjoy, or, be part of. And And what was the difference? I took a conscious decision to be part of that kirtan. Now, that's what happens many a times, that we are not very conscious to chant the holy name. Rather, we are busy with the mridanga playing, with the high, what beat it is, what melody it is, so many different aspects of kirtan, but not Nam Prabhu itself. So that, and I have seen also many times when kirtan over here, they just look at what you're gonna do next. What is the mridanga playing? Who is playing? Oh, I got this beat from that guy. There's so much we talk about that with each other, rather than talk about being conscious. How can I get more deeper and understand why I am doing kirtan? What is the goal of kirtan? And I say this many times. I have said it before to many devotees too, and I say this all the time, that this musical aspect of kirtan, that is hardly any part of the whole of bhakti. It is, I would say, 5% of the whole 100% of a kirtan. Rest 95% is the attitude in which you sit, how conscious you are. So I remember one of our pastimes with Ayana Prabhu, we used to sit for kirtan, and we had these, Vrindavan is like a slideshow. People keep coming, and festival times you have these colorful, different looking people, different dancing people, and that was like, we used to sit there and look, and that was, and every time Ayana Prabhu would bring us back, be like, where focus here, where are you looking here and there, focus. So I remember him trying to bring us back, making us conscious about the namja, our chanting, that we need to be here, we don't have to be everywhere else. So that really reflected, that I reflected myself regarding being conscious during kirtan. And I know many of you will just close your eyes and sit over there and be like, oh yeah, this person has got into too much emotional bhav, but I feel like connect to kirtan, to what is real kirtan, rather than connect to all the other aspects of kirtan, which, and Nama Prabhu, it's like I say this, that when you chant the holy name, when you do kirtan, it's like calling for Krishna, and every time you call, he looks, but you're not looking at him, you're looking everywhere else. So every time you look everywhere else, Krishna is like, oh yeah, maybe he's not calling me, he's. So that's what we lose this, the real mood and the real reason why we do kirtan. So my point was to be conscious, even with the chanting of the holy name. Be conscious and be present for every single mantra that you chant. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada used to say that you should, every morning you should get up and you hit your mind with sandals. Now you cannot hit your mind with sandals, and he's basically saying to tell your mind that come back. You again and again tell him, no, come back. We can talk about that later. We can think about that later, but come back. So this is what I am present to do. Like I should be doing right now over here. Right now, I'm chanting. I should do this, and I've seen that this helps. That's what helps in focusing. when you do that, you can focus on many other things in life, in your work, or any project that you're doing, anything you're doing. When you think about that, I am doing this right now, I should focus over here, rather than, oh, what's happening on Instagram, or what's happening on Facebook, or that person and you will see that when you chant the holy name, and your mind will run everywhere. I mean, this devotee, he told me this joke, is like, if you ever forget what you have to do, and you feel, you forgot, a lot of work you have to do, but you forgot, just take japamala, chant your round, and you, in one round, you'll come to know everything that you have forgotten, because that's what the mind wants to go away, and wants to run away from japa. So that's, and there's this another, another story that connects to this aspect, is that story of Haridas Thakur, when he was chanting, and the prostitute approached him, who was who was sent by the ruler to, like, uh, to break his bhajan. What did Haridas Thakur do? He sat over there, he chanted around, and he said, I'll give you time. I will spend time with you too, but let me finish my chanting. Every time she was there, oh no, but I still have a little bit more rounds, then I will give you time. And this is how we have to tell our mind again and again that, yeah, I'll give you time. I will do that also, but let me first do this. So by the example of Haridas Thakur, I really wanted to express these two topics of Bhagavad Shravan and Nam Jap with Kirtan. That is the essence of complete Kirtan. And now I think I would like to open the floor for discussion, if devotees want to talk or ask questions, or want to correct me, or so I'm thankful for everybody for coming. And this is a very good time with this pandemic. Everybody's home, so we can focus, and we can think about all these things and try to go more deeper in our sadhana. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Okay, so now we can open it up to the discussion. So if anyone has any questions or comments, just feel free to unmute yourself. Last time we did it by the raising hand, but I think it'll be easier for this format if you can just like unmute yourself by yourself, and then just talk whatever you have to say.
Hi Krishna, everyone. Devaki Premi here. Thank you so much for your presentation. I'm
Hi,
really
Krishna.
grateful, and especially hearing about Anja Prabhu. I was wondering, what are some like particular instructions he gave you in Kirtan in terms of like leading Kirtan? I know like I lead Kirtan sometimes, I know what we do, but I was wondering if you had any thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, I asked a few questions, so it's nice that I got a instruction. Otherwise, he wouldn't. He would give a lot of instruction from time to time. One of the things that Prabhu, I asked him once that, Prabhu, I do kirtan and I'm chanting, but I have no taste in the chanting. So I don't feel anything. It's just, it's just like musical performance. And Prabhu said, how is your japa? And I said, it's like so-so. He said, you work on your japa, your kirtan, you will start feeling, you'll start tasting it. So that's one of the instructions that he gave to me. And another one that was when I had decided that I wanted to go and work in the material world and make money for my family, and and Indra came to know about it, and he got on my case, and he was just like, just stay here in Vrindavan, Radharani will take care of you. And Vrindavan, a lot of devotees say that, just do dhambas, live in Vrindavan, Radharani will take care of you. But um, I was very less what do you call it, like faith faithful. I didn't have that much faith. So I was just listening from one ear, and I would just take it out from the other. Yeah, and he must have told me that like at least 10 times in that 3 hours conversation. And Indra said, just stay in Vrindavan, Radharani will take care of you. And that very moment, there was a knock on the door, and this devotee from South Africa, he came and he's like, Indra, I came 3 days ago, but I couldn't come because of like a lot of things happening. But my mom made this ghee for you, and he showed him a jar, and we're like, there's some ghee for you. And Indra, rather than looking at that devotee, was looking at me with this beaming smile, and he was like looking at directly and smiling, and I was like, what now? And Indra was like, see, I went to sleep yesterday night, and I thought about I need ghee, and I woke up, I didn't have to go and beg, borrow, steal, and here I get my ghee. And it's a small thing, but Radharani was taking care of him. So if you're faithful, Krishna is always there. So that he showed me the real meaning of that whole sentence. You stay in Vrindavan, Radharani will take care of you. And I have experienced it with my Go Seva. And before I can stress, I live in Vrindavan peacefully. I don't have any like extra monetary like earning, like any business or anything. I do like a little like work with Ganga Prasad Emporium, and I stitch people's bagalbandis or clothes like that. So it's very minor, but somehow my me, my wife, and we take care of each other. But my cows, somehow or the other, people come from place and they just give donation. Friends, not random people, friends, but they just give for the cows. And I don't have to arrange anything. I don't even have to stress that when is the money for the bhusa gonna come, or where is the bhusa is the dry hay, or where is the money, and it just comes. So I feel Radharani just takes care if you do your service right. So that's two of the instructions that I got from my Guru. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you.
Thank you. It was that Vignesh? Oh, Vigneshwar. Yeah. Who was that? Who spoke just before?
I think that was Jay Devaki.
Okay. Hi, Krishna. Yeah, Vigneshwar Prabhu had a question.
I think there's a question on the chat.
Okay, I have to open the chat. Where is it?
Yeah, so the question in the chat is from Aditya Khandre. He's asking, how can we more concentrate on Nam Jap and not the musical aspect of Kirtan and gain taste for the Nam Jap?
So yeah, that's how, that's what I was saying, that when you wholeheartedly with your own, like again and again, when you sit over there and you're like, no, I have to focus here. No, I have to focus here. Again and again, when your mind diverts and goes into, chilling with your friends, or seeing different mridanga beats, or how cool is that bagalbandi, I have to stitch one of that. I know that people get that. Well, I get that many times. But you have to bring back yourself. You have to keep telling your mind, no, 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 let's finish the kirtan, we can think about this later. Yeah, exactly. Back your mind with a chappal. Yeah, I was thinking, one of my friends, he advised that I should do this whole thing in Hindi, whole talk in Hindi. I was like, but I don't think it would have worked. Any other questions, or you want to discuss or talk about something?
I just had one question. This
Yeah.
is Rangesh here.
Yes.
Prabhu, so you were mentioning the whole trinity of Bhagavat, Shravan,
Naam jap
Nam
and
Jap,
yeah,
and Kirtan.
yeah,
So I think it's more a comment come question. So I think
yeah,
today, many of the youth are inspired by the younger Kirtan leaders, especially with the nice tunes and the nice musical instruments and things like that. But I
yeah,
think today's session has actually shown that even Kirtaniyas like yourselves also have the side where you do read Shastra, or you do concentrate on improving your sadhana and japa and things like that. Do you think that if more Kirtan leaders who are prominent in the musical aspect also talk about it more, or even lead by example by talking about Shastra and things like that, that could possibly help the younger Kirtaniyas to take inspiration from the people who are a source of inspiration, so that they can also improve their sadhana and things like that?
yeah. That's my goal. That's what I mean. That's what I've been doing. Also, I've been opening discussions on that. I think I did that with the devotees in Chicago. We did like a little. We did just like a chill session. We just sat and talked. But it's nice to talk to them. And I mean, one of the things that I've seen with kirtan also, like it's become like get this celebrity status, and everybody's like fighting for that celebrity status, which is like, it's like a bubble on the ocean. It will go in 2 seconds, that celebrity. So what I'm, you're losing what you're really looking for. That's the thing. So is the holy name, because there's this beautiful story from Mahabharata where there's a king, and the king uh, he's a dani. He gives a lot of charity, and he's like every day he sits from time to time, and he gives people whatever people come and ask. And people ask for house, and people ask for cows, people ask for gold, and and he's like, yes, yeah, take. He doesn't even flinch to give people. But the moment this one time one person comes and he says, I want to be your friend, and when that person says that, the king thinks for a second and says, just wait for a second, then I will talk to you. And Mahabharata shows that with that story is that that's how holy name is. You want na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, you want all that, it will give you. You want nice mridanga beats, you want to learn everything, you will get it from kirtan. I will tell you, I have traveled, and I have sometimes had some of the wildest place I have gone, where I have been to Irkutsk, which is in Siberia, close to Siberia. And like, these devotees had arranged everything for me. Like, there was like toothbrush, to pair of dhotis, to kurtas, to like umbrella, and sandals, everything. Like, I should have, like, I could have just taken my ticket and gone over there, and they had arranged everything for me. You get that, to like to go and sit at somebody's, to a simple kirtan. But I'm just saying that these are all, how do you say, these are all momentary. After some time it'll all disappear. So that's why I feel that people need to more talk about kirtan rather than do kirtan, because it's easy to do kirtan, but to talk about kirtan, people don't really start a discussion. Yeah, like right now also I see 50 people, but I don't see people want to talk about kirtan. I mean, I feel, I did like I'm not a speaker, so I don't know what I spoke, but whatever I had, my 2 cents I gave. But like, this is something I like, that devotees talk, even if I am wrong, but have a discussion. There is no, yeah. Sorry, did that answer your question? Or yeah.
Yes, bro. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So we've got some more questions from the chat.
Yeah.
You can also look at the chat, but this one is from Darshina. She says, I'm new to leading kirtan and still find myself anxious and self-conscious. Any advice you can give about shifting focus from our own performance to the deities?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, means when you are a fresher, I was also very self-conscious when because you have to. There is a lot of pressure. My suggestion for that would be, do kirtan with people who you are comfortable with your friends, not public kirtan, not in front of a crowd of people who oh yeah, well, do kirtan, such and such person is going to lead, and you get a little pressured by that. But when you do, this is what we used to enjoy doing with Amal, me, and Sue and Nikki, and we used to do kirtan, from from 10 o'clock till 1, 10 to 1 night graveyard shift. And it was just 3 of us, 4 of us, no judging each other. We used to just sing our hearts out. And I think we got good at doing what we did is by learning from each other. Also, we could easily test doing different things, as well as we could really be less self-conscious, so I found that was like a good way of doing kirtan, like getting the self-conscious out. Yeah. So like for me now, I can sit and do kirtan in front of a lot of people, but don't get scared. But speaking, it scares the hell out of me. So yeah. Any other questions? I can see Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for a wonderful talk.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I have a question. I feel like I think what I have seen, and this probably happens like in the early teenage years of the youth. I'm not very positive on that, but I feel like there are times when the individuals, they kind of show off while playing the madanga and the gartals, and when they get corrected, like, and what I mean by correction is like, maybe it's too complicating, or it's not really necessary to play all these difficult beats, and they might not appreciate the correction. So how do we tell them the reason of the correction?
Many of the that is one of the main reasons why I do this kind of I talk to people about, because that's the thing, nobody talks about it. Nobody is talking about, like, so that's why if you see many times the older some of the older generations, it is hard, because that's how they have grown up, and what they are doing is being now being seen by the younger generation, and they learn that, and now they want to imbibe that same kind of like name, fame, adoration. They want that also because that person has it. I feel like many times I see that, and I feel these kind of people are like lost cause. It will be only on them if they can be more conscious and come back. Yeah. So was that?
Thank you, Prabhu. That was good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
Mukunda, you had a question. Did you want to
Mukunda.
ask that one?
Yeah. I was just wondering. Thank you. That was nice. The points you were highlighting, Kirtan Premi.
Yeah.
You talked about like Bhagavat Shravan and these other elements that should be supporting the Kirtan. So I was wondering if you could give some advice, because I'm sure, as you know, right, the youth, all of us are very interested and inspired by Kirtan, but we have difficulty getting taste in doing the other things. So do you have some pointers how to gain some taste to do, reading Bhagavatam or chanting japa, how to start there?
Yeah, I think it's the first step is because it's Shravanam. So I always, this is my personal experience, like I cannot sit for some people's lectures. Like that's how I get my Bhagavad Shravan. Not much of like, not much of a like reader, but I read I've read Bhagavad, like in a sense, Prabhupada's small books and things like that. I've not yet started Bhagavatam personally. I'm talking about Bhagavatam. But I know stories because I know different instances because of the person who speaks. And my main source is listening. So, and I listen to the person who I find authoritative and I really like to listen to. So listening to Bhagavad is also Bhagavad Shravan. Like that's Bhagavad Shravan too. So if you can't read books, listen to lectures. If you can't sit in a lecture, get recordings and listen to lectures. So that is some way you can, and if you can read, then Bhagavatam, I was talking to my brother, and he's also writing in the back, and we were talking about these points and how I would like express all my points, and he was he was telling me about like what Bhagavatam is. Bhagavatam is Krishna. It's the form of Krishna, and then you read by chapter, and it is the whole form of Krishna. It's the chapter 1 is feet, and like that slowly it comes to the face of Krishna. And all these are actually, Bhagavatam is not that difficult because Bhagavatam is more stories, and actually everybody likes stories. Less philosophy and more stories. I know the second canto is like more about creation, and but much of it is stories, and it's not very difficult for people to. But yeah, my main source of Bhagavad Shravan is listening. So at this point, I am more like a listener. And I just listen to a few lectures that few people who speak, and I like the way they speak. And so I listen to those lectures. Yeah. Thank you, Mukunda.
I think we've reached time.
Okay.
So unfortunately, that was our last question.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can find a way to reach out and ask questions or something like
Yeah.
that. Continue the discussion later.
Yeah. I'll just take one last question. I can see it, Vishaka Dasmut, and then you can, sorry, do it really fast. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. How to not get puffed up when someone compliments your kirtan. Yeah, the way I do it is I transfer it forward. When a compliment comes to me, I transfer it forward to Einbrew. By his mercy, I've been able to do it. I transfer it forward to Srila Prabhupada. And I say, by his mercy, I've been able to do it. I don't have the qualification. So that helps in like not getting puffed up, because you know where you're coming from. You know your humble beginnings, so then you keep that attitude. And every time if somebody compliments, say thank you very much, but this is by this person's mercy that I've been able to do that. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
And do likewise when somebody criticizes you also. Thank you very much, but don't say this is by the mercy of my guru. No, just say thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, Aditi.
Oh.
And Yash, for this beautiful discussion. And if anybody want to ask more questions, you could just send me on my Facebook, and I can reply back. I am very accessible. I talk to youth all the time. So if you feel like you want to reach out, don't feel shy. I don't really like celebrity status. I don't like this. So I would humbly ask if anybody has any questions or want to talk or want to give a compliment or not give a compliment, please, you can write to me. Thank you very much. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's it. If you have any closing notes, anything like that.
Yeah, I spoke about the 2 points of which is the complete kirtan, and I highlighted about Bhagavad, Shravan, as well as Japa. These 2 things are important, and if you want to really bring your kirtan to the next level, please focus on these points. And you have the pandemic with you right now. You have your time at home, so just think about these points and continue doing. Focus, and also try to listen to lectures, and or read. Thank you very much.
Perfect. We just have a few more announcements before everyone pops off. So our next talk will be on April 28th. It'll be with R.T. Swami. He'll be doing a Q&A style discussion, which will be really cool. He has a lot of cool stories, and he's a Srila Prabhupada disciple, so he has some stories with Prabhupada as well. And we just launched a newsletter, actually. So it came out on last Wednesday, and it'll include a lot of things like recipes and stories, recommendations for kirtan and stuff like that. And our first one came out. It's on our website. You can check it out there. And we also just launched an internship. So you should be able to apply for that. I believe the deadline is in 2 weeks, and it's a UN internship, and all the information is again on our website, sanghainitiative.org. So I think that's it.
Jai. Haribo.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving us that talk. And again, this class was recorded. We'll be posting it at our website. And there should be a tab that says like webinar recordings. So by tomorrow evening, you should be able to just click on that and you'll see a recording from this, and it'll be on YouTube as well. So all the information should be there. And again, if you guys have any more questions or comments, even about like our whole setup and what we can improve, feel free to reach out to any of us. And then we should be able to hopefully fix that and try to do it better next time. So thank you all again for joining in, and hopefully see you guys next week again. And thank you, Kirtan Premi, as well, for giving us that talk and, facilitating that discussion with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Haribo.
Haribo.
Haribo.